Hey, hi everyone. So in this video, we are gonna talk about what are the workbooks on BitScale and what are the various ways you can create workbook on BitScale, right? So what is a workbook? Workbook is nothing, uh, co- just a collection of two or more than two grids. For example, I want that there are two grids which are interconnected to each other. So I want that it should be represented in a same view, right? Just like a Google Sheet, you have the option to create multiple sheets, right? So in the same way, in BitScale, we do that automatically, right? For like depending upon the tools, we connect those grids and create a workbook. For example, when you use a write to grid tool, so if you go to the enrichment, you will find that there is a write to grid tool. What is the tool? This tool will basically help you transfer or push a particular data from this grid to another grid, right? So here you can select the grids. Maybe it can be an old grid or an existing grid, and you can also create a new grid here. Depends on your use case and what are the items you want to write to the table or new grid or existing grid, and what are the columns that you want to pass to that grid, right? So let me tell you one of the ways you can do that. For that, I have a simple use case here that I have fetched the data of later stage companies, and also I have used this find contact from company action to find out the executives or founders of that particular company, right? So here's the result. Now you can see in this result that it's a array or it's a list of all the profiles. So it will be very difficult for me because I don't know the count, right? So it will be very difficult for me to do the enrichment on this particular profile. Correct. What's the better way? If I can get all these profiles in a separate grid, and then after I will perform all the enrichments there, right? So what I want is basically this profile like this particular company has four profiles, right? What I want is it should create a four separate rows in another grid, correct? So it will be easier for me to do enrichments. For that particular use case, this there is a tool called write to grid. So if click on this write to grid option, it will create another column. And now here you can select a grid. Let's do one thing. Let's create a new grid. So I have created a new grid. Now please notice that as soon as clicked create new grid, it has connected both of this grid, right? And created a workbook here, correct? So it now I know that whenever I come to any of this grid, I will also find other grid, right? So I know that these two grids are interconnected to each other. So it's easy for me to manage both grids, correct? So now let's do one thing. Let's run this. Before running this, let me do one thing. Let's select the columns that I wanna push, right? Or new column. Correct. So I have selected few columns that I want to push to another grid and save it and run it. So as you can see that it has added four rows in that separate grid. Let's go to that grid now and see what happened. So you can see that it has created four separate rows now, right? Now, if we look at the data, you can see that it has all the details that we passed from the previous grid, right? So let's do one thing. Let's add these details into a separate column, domain, and the current title, right? So now from this detail, it will be easier for me to find all other details like email, phone number, LinkedIn URL, etc., etc. Right? So yeah, that's one of the use case that you can use workbook in a way, right? Or like that's one of the use case by which the workbook can be created. Obviously, there are multiple ways, but for now, I will talk about this particular use case only. If you want to know what are the other use cases, you can check out our other videos, or you can check out our documentation as well. And just in case, if you have any other doubts, you can anytime ping us on a Slack. We have a very active Slack community. You can anytime ping us on that Slack community, and we will reply as soon as possible. So yeah, guys, thank you. Bye bye.